heartbreak is the most fantastic motivator on the planet. When a lot of men message me and say they're heartbroken, I think that is the most fantastic mindset to be in to achieve things, because there is that degree of revenge and there is that degree of vengeance, and that can only be achieved through being so successful, so monumentally important that she can't forgive you. And also, you cannot even sleep. You can't even concentrate. Like your whole mind's a mess. That's the perfect time to train. I only mention heartbreak all the time because I know it's a path every single young man goes through. There's up and down. There's rain and sunshine. You have to be that man who's going to go through it all. If you're a man who has a heartbroken, why did this happen? You have to know the why to prevent it from happening. You have to analyze the scenario and learn from it. When you look at your bad or your previous relationships with women that went wrong, you can sit there and go, okay, this all went wrong. What has she taught me? She taught me that I'm emotionally affectable. She taught me that if she ignores me, she gets more attention than if she's nice to me. You have to sit there and analyze all the lessons, and you have to implement them. It's the same with absolutely everything. As a man, you have to be accountable for absolutely everything. Every single thing that happens is your fault. You made her leave you. You did. Whether you like it or not, you are the reason she became so cold. You are the reason she doesn't listen anymore. You are the reason she's so arrogant all 100%. Of a sudden. You are. You may not have identified why yet, but if you identify why, then you get into your next relationship healed and understanding what you did wrong and learn from it. That's what you have to do. But most of these men don't want the self-accountability, and they want to blame the women. You have to blame yourself. I actually truly believe that women in their hearts, unless they're completely corrupted by society, women just want to love and be loved and feel safe. That's what they want. They want a man that they can look at and they truly know he makes the decisions and I trust him to make the decisions and I love him for that and I respect him for that. That's what they truly want. When a woman starts turning on you, it's usually because she doesn't trust you for some reason. She doesn't trust your judgment. If she starts to doubt your judgment, how can she truly love you? You're the protector. You're the provider. If a woman's gone cold on you, you have to sit there and go, okay, she doesn't trust my judgment. What have I done that made her doubt me? It's not her fault. It's your fault. Every single time a woman leaves you as a man, it is your fault. Always. Even if a richer, more successful, more alpha man stole her from you, it's still your fault because you need to be like him. It's always 100% your fault.
First things first is that going through a breakup sucks. And every single man out here, no matter what they say, understands how bad it is to go through a breakup and understands what heartbreak's like. It's difficult. It's not easy. I'd actually like to argue that men feel more heartbroken than women. I think that's
facts.
I think it's true. And I think it's because one of the possessive element that we have, the idea of her being with someone else hurts more than the idea of you being with someone else to her. And secondly, because you have a lot less options than she has instantly. So I think that breakups are worse for men than they are for women. And I understand how difficult and hard they can be. However, the unfortunate reality is that chasing her and being dedicated to her and saying you're going to do whatever she wants, etc., is very unlikely to work. It's very unlikely to work. And you have to look at the scenario you're in, look at the chessboard and make the best possible move. When you're heartbroken, when you're truly heartbroken, you can't even sleep and your mind is constantly preoccupied. And instead of seeing that as a negative, what you need to do is use that as a source of unlimited power. You have to just take the energy inside of you. Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be converted, whether it's heat into light, momentum into friction or however you want to put it, right? Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be converted from one form to another. And you have to look at that and understand that the sadness inside of you is energy. You can't destroy it, but you can convert it into something else which is constructive. And you just have to suck it up, buttercup, and get over it. And there's no other way to do it. And obviously having an abundance of women makes that easier. But I wouldn't even put it that way. I'd say if you were with a woman and you lost her and you're now lonely and she's going to be moving on and you're absolutely not heartbroken and you're destroyed inside, I understand how difficult that is. But now you have genuine sadness inside of you, which is unlimited motivation for you to become a beast, become an animal. And by the time you're finished becoming an animal, you won't care anymore. So if you really want to cure yourself, you just say, I'm going to get a six pack and I'm going to get bigger arms. And by the time my arms are this size and I have a six pack, you'll realize that you don't give a shit about her anymore. That's just the way the world works.
Let's say your wife breaks your heart. If you're not going to work, you can't sleep anymore. You're upset. She's running around with a new dude. You see her Instagram story. She's got some new guy. You're furious and you're angry and you're jealous and you're bitter. You have all of this inside of you. But you're not going to go to the gym and work hard and become so fantastically in shape and so rich and so powerful that no girl ever leaves you again. You're not going to do that. No. What are you going to do with it? Text her? Try and explain to her? She doesn't care. Like you can write the most perfect English. You can write the most beautiful words ever constructed. Forget Shakespeare. You can do, it doesn't matter. She doesn't care. She just doesn't care. She's distracted.
She forgot about you.
She forgot about you. So what are you going to do with all of that inside of you if it's not positive? Well, it's going to consume you and you're going to end up self-destructive, or you're going to embarrass yourself, or you can take all of that and put yourself in a position where it never happens to you again.
Yeah.
Those are the choices. So what's the most intelligent choice to make?
Yeah.
You know,
I don't understand how many humans function in the world today. I don't get people who don't think like me. I don't understand it. I'm like, well, then how have you survived this long? Life is hard. Life is difficult. Maybe I've just been unlucky, which I don't believe in, but I've had so much trauma and bad events and negativity and stress and all these things that have happened to me. And I've used all of it to be monumentally successful. If I wasn't that way inclined with the workload that God put on my shoulders, I'd just be in a ditch somewhere. Like, I don't understand how people are functioning. If you're not thinking like me and you're going through life with any other mindset, you've been extremely fortunate that God smiled on you and allowed you to sit around most of the time doing jack shit, and you have yet to be punished for that.
Yeah.
I could never have lived that life. If I was a bit lazy or a bit, or I was a bit of a snake, or if I lied to people, I'd be dead by now.
Yeah.
Like, so a lot of these people are just absolutely and utterly blessed by God that they managed to go through life with such a non-competitive mindset and they're still breathing. Like, I don't understand how people can think any other way.
Yeah.
I've spoken to dudes and like, I had a bad couple months. Why? My girl left me. You've wasted months. You've wasted months. But the reason I'm the luckiest man on earth is because God has given me endless building blocks to build a superhero. He's given me endless power. He's given me endless motivation. What did we say?
Yeah.
He's given me I have endless sources of power. I can sit here right now and recall events that will prevent me from sleeping for 2 to 3 days. That gives me a superpower that other men do not have. They want to go to sleep. They're tired. I can stop being tired for days at a time. I can just have a thought. I can remember. I can sit, close my eyes, and use the power of my brain to vividly remember events, and I will not sleep for days. And when people come to me and say, oh, this happened, I'm really sad, or my heart broke, or this bad thing happened to me, I say, good. Thank the Lord that he's given you this endless source of motivation. You're wasting it. Yeah. That's your problem. But it's been given to you. Nitrous oxide has been given to you. You just have to use it in the correct way. So I'm the luckiest man in the world because all the bad things that happened to me have given me all the building blocks to become the most fantastic man on the face of the planet. If you have your life in order as a man, truly and completely in order, then you're compatible with a lot more people. I think that if you're a man and you're struggling to find somebody you're compatible with, that's probably because you're a loser. If your life's in order, then you're compatible with a lot of women. Like me, for example, I don't need a woman to mother me. I don't need a woman to motivate me, to tell me to stop playing video games. I don't need her to do anything for me. I need her to be happy, positive, protect my spirit, pray for me, maybe little things, make me a coffee, some kind of small gesture. But my money's right, my motivation's right, my life is right. And if she is associated with me, by proxy, she's going to have a fantastic life. I can't fly on my jet and put her on an easy jet. Yeah. Like, she's going to end up on jets. She's going to end up in the 5-star hotels. She's going to end up not having to worry about money. She's going to end up in the best restaurants. Yeah. By proxy, she's going to have a very fantastic life. So you'll find that if your expectations of a woman are for her to be happy and you have a lifestyle that makes her happy, a lot of women are pretty happy, and you get along with basically all of them. It's kind of amazing how that works. It takes a very special type of character to still be dislikable in those kind of scenarios. Whereas if your life is less perfect or your reality is less impressive, then you need a girl who's happy to be bored, and then it becomes harder. The cowardice is they are afraid to lose her. Trump says it in his book, The Art of the Deal. If you're not prepared to walk away from the table, you cannot negotiate. And that is absolutely true in a relationship. If you are not prepared to get rid of her, then what are you negotiating? If you're not prepared to say, sorry, that's the red line, goodbye, then you don't have a negotiating position. Mm-hmm. You don't have one, because you'll just say, no, forever. It'll just stay forever. There has to be a line you will not allow to be crossed. There has to be, right? And so many men are so scared of losing the girl, but if you refuse, men message me all the time, I need my girl to listen to me, but I don't want to split up with her.
You already lost.
I was like, bro, if you're telling me there's no scenario in which you will leave her, I can't help you. Because I have people message me all the time and they go, oh yeah, but it's easy for you, Tate. You don't care. I say, no, incorrect. I will tell you right now on this podcast, I have walked away from women I loved with all my heart and women I missed for months, but I never told them, and I never text them, and I just fucking, I was a man about it. Being a man about things is not feeling things. It's being a man about it. Be a man about it. If she's not going to be the woman you need her to be, she has to go. It's actually very interesting, the masculine experience, because I like to believe that most men on the planet have lived a semi-similar timeline. All of us as men experience a very similar human paradigm, and that is that most men are born and you're not important, and then you go to school and you fall in love with some girl in school, and then
You realize that all the 19-year-olds you want when you're 19 are with older dudes because they have cars or whatever. And you go through this experience of getting your heart broken and losing your girlfriend, etc. Or accept they're going to have their heart broken forever. But some men decide to become so big and important and strong and irreplaceable that they never have to suffer heartbreak again. You know why God made your girl leave you? Because he wanted to show you that you ain't shit. He wanted to show you that you are human and you're fallible and that you're very replaceable. So he decided to make you fall in love with the girl, and he decided to make her leave you. Now it is your job to look at the board, understand what's happened, say, I understand, God, I deserve that. I'm glad she left me and I'm sad, and do something about it. Because if you refuse, if you ignore God's message, next time you fall in love, guess what he's going to do? He's going to make her leave you. Every single man out here, if you're upset that your girl's leaving you, God is reminding you that you aren't worth shit. You need to get up and work so hard that even in the eyes of God, he is proud of you. God loves his creations, which show him their true potential and beauty. By getting up and trying your absolute best and becoming a man of moral standing, he will reward you and bless you. So God just broke your heart on purpose to show you that the way you're living your life and the man you are simply are not good enough. What have you changed since? Nothing. You think God's going to forgive you for no reason? You think God's going to go, it's fine. He hasn't learned his lesson. He hasn't changed. He isn't even trying very hard. He's not up early in the gym. He ain't doing nothing. It's fine. Let's just let him fall in love. No, sir. This is going to repeat endlessly. It's a cycle that will not change until you take the message from God and become the man you're supposed to be. You deserve what's happened to you. You deserve how you feel. All of it.
Right? What did we talk earlier about how trauma can mold you? How trauma can be a fantastic thing. Heartbreak, sadness. These are all fantastic motivators. I'm telling you why they're a fantastic motivator. You go to a guy who's heartbroken. He has all the motivation in the world to send 300 text messages. He has the motivation. He's putting it in the wrong place.
That's 300 cold emails you could be sending to someone to pitch a
That's
business.
a lot of money you could have made. Life's going to hurt you, and how you use that pain is completely and utterly up to you. You can use that pain to galvanize yourself as a man and become a better man you've ever been. I'm not saying that I'm only successful because of some chick. I'm saying that every single time that I was heartbroken, I never wasted a second. I was never wallow.
You are feeling the same pain that many men have felt.